From the shadows of the Wasatch Front to the shores of the Great Salt Lake, you're listening to the Wynn to Scott Report, presented by UteFans.net, the original home for Ute fans.
All right, welcome back to the Wynn to Scott Report featuring Marcus Williams. So Marcus, obviously college football is a lot different than it was when you played, and it hasn't been that long since you played because of this little thing called NIL. So what do you think of the current NIL landscape as it applies to the Utes and their place in college football?
Man, I think it's different. I think it kind of makes college professionals, but at the same time, I think it's like if they're going to use our likeness and our face and everything like that in college, they should get paid. I mean, I think that it sucks that a lot of us didn't get paid because we were struggling in college. We're in college. Like I'm like happy over this, $500 that I was getting, and then now they're getting $500,000, and they're able to support their families, and they could just stay in college for 4 years. 5 years instead of trying to go to the league. And it's like, dang, if I would have had this money, like maybe I would have stayed one more year, developed, but also I still would have been like, nah, you know what, I'm still gonna go to the league. Whatever. But because I'm like, I want to be better than I was already yesterday. So I'm gonna go play against the talent that's already, established up there. But I think it's really good, but it sucks that a lot of these athletes are getting paid more than me. And I don't get any off the field. So they're getting paid more than me off the field. And I'm like, hey, how do I get that? But no, it's cool. Yeah. I think it's very cool. And that people could get these offers from, small businesses. They could get, a little bit and help those brands build up if they're willing to do stuff like that. But I think NIL is good for sure.
So what do you think of the emergence of Utah as a Pac-12 powerhouse and potential college football playoff contender?
Man, I think it's been building for a long time. I mean, since I've been there, I feel like there hasn't been a losing season, and we just got better year after year. And you could see by, we went to the Pac-12 championship, won the Pac-12 championship, we go to the Rose Bowl. That's really big. I mean, you got guys like me, K. Scott, and all these guys that have come through here, and we've just been balling. And you get more recruits to come in here. You get more defensive players, get more offensive players, and then that just helps the program grow. And now you see Utah's getting. We may not get the 5-star recruit, but we're going to get the 3-star recruit or the 1-star recruit who's going to work harder than the 5-star recruit. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what helps us, go to that next level, and that's why we're getting to where we're at now.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on what Marcus was saying, man, I remember my first experience of seeing Utah, and it was in San Diego, California. There's this guy at the QB position that wore number 3, and they were playing against Cal in the Poinsettia Bowl. And I was like, dang, this dude got a nice little arm, man. I can only imagine what it would be like to catch a pass from him, and fast forward maybe a year or two later, I still never caught a pass from this guy. Man, and he's sitting right here on the camera with me, man.
Right where we left off last year. Here we go with the Wynn to Scott situation in real life again. Here we go.
I had to throw that in.
Hey, man, I threw a touchdown to Drez, though.
You did?
I threw a touchdown to Drez in 2012 or 11, I think, against UW. That was 11. Hey, Scott, man, I would have loved to throw him past you. Trust me. Just,
Marcus,
part of the game.
Marcus, what were your thoughts on this last season for Utah, considering the adversity they faced and where they ended up?
Man, I think they fought hard with the adversity, with two of our players, going, passing away. It was really tough, and I think Utah is a definition of facing and overcoming adversity. I think even when I was there, we had one of our guys get shot, and it was still tough, still facing that type of adversity. But Utah's the definition of overcoming it. United together, eternal soldiers. It means a lot, and you can see everybody bands together, everybody comes together, and that's why it's a strong unit, strong bond, and it's a family, and that's why you see why people go there, because they see that and they want and they want that type of family bond. And even when they're away from home, miles away from home, they can feel that family environment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask here real quick because you brought that up. So one thing I've noticed, you know, we grew up in Southern California. We watched SC, UCLA, different programs, played in the Pac-12. I played in the Mountain West at the beginning, then the Pac-12. You know, you talk about united together, eternal soldiers, and that is such a real thing. You know, we get together, former players, and it's really like its own fraternity. And it's almost like we're best friends that never, you know, we haven't seen each other in decades, but we never left off. Where do you think, both you guys, K. Scott and Marcus, where do you think that, I mean, do you think that's a Coach Witt thing? Do you think that's the type of caliber of kid that gets recruited to Utah? Like I've always tried to figure that out because, you know, I talk to guys that played in other programs and it just doesn't seem like there's as a tight knit of a bond as there is here. Why do you think it is that way? Where do you think that it comes from?
I'll let you go first, Marcus.
I think it's the guys that we recruit. You recruit those guys. You recruit high character guys. There may be some guys that you may think are not like that, but when you really sit down and talk to them, they really are, you know, good guys internally. And it's hard when you get some people on the outside trying to label you as something that you're not. And just because I have 2 tattoos and stuff does not mean I'm a bad person. Does not mean I'm gang affiliated. It just means that I like the art, and art means something to me, and that's what it is. But I think when you sit down and talk to them, those are the high character guys, and those are the hard workers, and those are the, you know, the workers that are down and get ready for business. And that's what I feel like Utah brings in.
Man, the dude said it perfectly. You know, those are the type of the character guys that we come with. And another thing is too, is like Marcus said earlier, you have these 1-star, 3-star guys, you know, coming in with the passion and fire, knowing that they're 5-star. They don't have to have that ranking. They already know that they're 5 stars because they trust in their ability. But not only that, is that we band together so much when we do get on campus, like, man, you're an underdog, I'm an underdog too. And we both realize like how we're both warriors. And so when we get on that field, man, we go all out, right? And one of the greatest things I think we do in our program is getting to know each other, especially on the team. You know, we're one of the most diverse teams in all of America. You got 1/3 poly, 1/3 black, 1/3 white, and so forth. And I believe that diversity right there allows us to band together and just come across as one. You know, we don't really feel like we're better than the other person. We really feel like a group, you know, as far as brothers, and we're going to get together and accomplish whatever needs to be accomplished. And that's why I love the program so much.
No doubt.
Love it.
So, Jordan, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I got one last question here. So I know, Marcus, you played the free, but let's just say you were in undercover 1 and somehow got matched up against K. Scott in the slot. What's happened? Walk me through what's I'm gonna let you guys both talk, but
why would K. Scott be in a slot?
Why would he not?
Why would he be in a slot?
Because I mean, I would motion him down just to see real quick who's matched up on him and let him get into a little option route.
Okay, so you want K. Scott to be in a slot. I'm going to come from depth, and then I'm just going to just drive on whatever route he runs.
Oh, here we go.
What you mean? You just said it. If he gets in a slot, okay, he could be at number 1. He could do a dig, he could do a corner, or he could just run a shallow. I don't need to go press him because he's in a slot.
Man, we're gonna hit you with mesh return real quick. I don't know.
Do it. I'm gonna play my leverage. If we play inside funnel 1, I have inside cutters. I'm gonna play outside, let him run it. I'll be right there when he gets back.
You know what's so crazy about that, Jordan? Like, that just shows you like how much of a student of the game he is. Like the way you like broke it down to him, like, okay, you come down. Like he's already analyzing, like, okay, here's my leverage, here's where my help is, here's how I'm gonna funnel him. These are only routes. Like that's how much of a student of the game he is.
I love it.
Just simple like that, which is crazy. I was like, dang, he just fired it off just like that, which is pretty dope.
So I got one last thing here. Marcus, kind of 2 questions here. First is, looking back on your experience at the University of Utah, what are you most proud of?
The most thing I'm most proud of is graduating. Even though I left after my 3rd year, I came back and I graduated. They allowed me to come back, still honor my scholarship, and I was still able to get my degree. So I think being able to walk across the stage and have my family there, was definitely something that I'm most proud of.
Awesome.
And that's incredible. And what message do you have for student athletes now with the landscape changing so dramatically in college sports?
Just never give up, even when the classes are really hard and rigorous courses, and maybe you just feel like it's just not for you. Maybe school's not for you, and that's okay. School's not for everybody, but as long as you try your hardest and try your best and keep trying and find ways to continue to progress, then I think they'll be fine. But just never give up. If you're facing some type of adversity, find help, because there's somebody willing to help you and somebody that's there to help you to latch on to. So I just think it's very beneficial to just never give up, stay strong, and keep going.
Well, Marcus, you're a total stud, a legend. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and anything we can do for you, we let us know. But thanks again for appearing. And this is the end of the Wynn to Scott Report. Stay tuned for our next episode next week.
Thanks for listening to the Wynn to Scott Report, presented by UteFans.net. Join us next time for more exclusive insider analysis from two of your favorite former players. We are the original home for Ute fans.